Much space when you out there without care. I was out of tone, but it wasn't because I didn't know. No, I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice. That's my only advice. Oh, who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You think you're in control? I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me.
Hey everyone, it's a beautiful Monday morning. Sorry, is it no, it's afternoon. It's a Monday afternoon, and I hope that you guys are spending good quality time with your families as we celebrate Zambia's version of Farmers Day. And it's a time that we get together and appreciate the people that are responsible for feeding this nation. Now, against the backdrop of that, we've just received some shocking news that has sort of perked everybody's ears and piqued everyone's attention. And of course, I'm referring to the escape of JJ Banda. Now, for those of you that may not know who he is, let me bring you up to speed. JJ Banda is a member of parliament for Petauke, a young man that was notorious for many different reasons. And through his notoriety, he became somewhat of a celebrity by default. And the other side of his coin is that there was an insidious, despicable, dark side to JJ Banda that many people were not aware of. Some people were, and definitely the police were aware of this type of behavior. And the only problem was that during the NPF, during the tyrannical reign of the notorious Patriotic Front, people like JJ Banda were largely shielded. They were protected. JJ Banda was one of those people that walked around thinking that he was the be all and end all. He was one of these guys that felt that they could break the law with impunity and there would be no reprise, there would be no consequence, there would be no backlash, there would be no issue. But lo and behold, there was. But Edgar Lungu was at the forefront of protecting this guy. And there were many like him. You know, anytime you have an administration that protects despots, that protects criminals, that protects individuals that are wayward members of society, then you've got a problem. You really do. And I think every administration struggles with this. But if you nip it in the bud, as they say over there, you nip it in the bud when you bring these chaps and you hold them accountable for the nonsense that they did. You know, I was just listening to the Minister of Home Affairs. Apparently in this country, there is no statute of limitations. If you committed a crime 100 years ago, doesn't matter whether or not you did it 100 or 50 years ago, as long as there's a complainant, there's a docket, your issue goes to court, boom, you will face the consequences. So let's do away with that erroneous idea that, no, these are things that happened a long time ago. So the UPND are just being vindictive. Eh? And let me tell you what annoys me about this whole debacle. And I have to say it this way. Everyone is ignoring the victim in this case. The complainant has been sidelined. Nobody's talking about the complainant. You guys are focusing on J.J. Banda. Why are you doing that? Is it because he's a member of parliament? Is it because J.J. Banda seems to feel that he's more a citizen than anybody else? Is it because J.J. Banda has a parliamentarian salary, or he draws an income from being an MP, and anybody else it pales into utter insignificance? Why are we ignoring the victim? Nobody's talking about him. Everybody's like, oh no, J.J. Banda's sick. Oh, J.J. Banda can't walk. Oh, J.J. Banda's leg has been amputated. Oh, J.J. Banda this, that, and the other. And all of those are lies. Nobody has amputated his leg. Everybody knows that every single time J.J. Banda goes to court and he pretends to limp, he pretends to be sick, he feigns sickness. He pretends to be ill. He feigns sickness. And there are lots of politicians that do that. I mean, one comes to mind. I'm not going to mention his name, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. They feign sickness. They pretend to be ill. Why? So that they can get the public's sympathy. It's a gimmick. It's a game. It's a con game is what it is. Oh, I can't walk. I can hardly see. I can hardly hear. I don't know who you are. I need to feel through the dark so that I ascertain exactly who you are, because I'm standing on the precipice of death. I'm standing at death's door. I'm about to die. Oh, 50 wake up. And they all do it. And here it is now. Here it is. We're going to walk it. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. J.J. Banda has escaped lawful custody. He's now joined the likes of Chilufek Tayali. He's now joined the likes of Harrison Ford in the film The Fugitive. He's now joined the likes of a man that is on the run that is pursued by the law everywhere J.J. Banda goes between now and the time they catch him. And mark my words, they will catch him. Everything that he does between now and the time they catch him, he's going to be looking over his shoulder. He's going to be looking, he has escaped. And the question is, how did this happen? How in the world do you have a man that has been arrested for aggravated robbery, attempted murder, a man whose character has been in question for years, and all of a sudden, here it is, his case happened over there in Chipata? Because, you know, some of you may be asking, but why did he go to Chipata? Why did they take him there? The truth is, J.J. Banda was charged with aggravated robbery in Chipata. Chipata. So it stands to reason that they take him there because that's where the charge is. He didn't go there on some type of excursion. You know, he didn't go there because of the scenic route. No, he went there because that's where the crime occurred. Now, you've got to remember, Chipata is J.J. Banda's stomping ground. That's where he's from. That's where he grew up. He's a member of parliament in Chipata. There are people in Chipata that pay allegiance to J.J. Banda. Do you know this? In different sectors. There are people in the police in Chipata. They pay homage to J.J. Banda. Why? Because he's the member of parliament. They're members of the community that I wouldn't be surprised if they kept him in their homes. There are few members of the Chipata community that pay so much allegiance to Banda that they would even hide him. They would conceal him. In their minds, they're thinking they're doing him a favor because, according to them, they love him. But the truth is they're breaking the law. You're housing a fugitive. That's what you're doing. Muebena Chipata. Hear me, and I know that you and I, as tribal cousins, we've got issues, but I do love you. I love you from the bottom of my heart, but you bring him back. Give him back to the authorities. You're not going to do yourselves any favors. But do the right thing. That's a bit of tribal cousin there for you. But do the right thing. Give him back to the authorities. Nothing good will come out of his escape. Nothing good will come out of the fact that he's a fugitive. Nothing good will emerge out of this debacle. Nothing good will come out of this mess. The only thing, the right thing to do, Muebena Chipata, serve him up. Serve him on a silver plate. Garnish that silver plate. Hand him back to the authorities. That's what you got to do. If you don't do that, then my brothers and sisters, Muebena Chipata, you haven't done the right thing. All right. So, they took him to Chipata because that's where he committed the crime. Okay? Now, I'd also like to highlight this question here. What is J.J. Banda running away from? Well, the truth is he knows he's guilty as hell. Okay, let's just start there. All right, let's just be frank and honest about that. He knows the noose is about to tighten around his neck. He knows that the police and the authorities and the court system are about to circle the wagons around him. He knows that he's fighting a losing battle. So the only thing that's left in his mind is to run away, is to break away, escape like a 1776 American slave. Escape. No. That's a wrong thing to do. He's just made a bad situation worse. There's a word for that. He's exacerbated the situation. Ooh, that's a word there, boy. Look it up in the dictionary. J.J. Banda has just made a bad situation worse. He's exacerbated the situation. He's made it worse. At one point, he was in custody, charged with a crime. Now he's escaped. And when they do catch him, and mark my words, they will catch him, he's going to be slapped with another charge. Escaping from police custody, my brothers and sisters, is a serious crime. Where are you going to get the sympathy for that? Support this foolishness. Where are you going? How are you going to sympathize with an escapee? Our former and sixth president Edgar Lungu made the most ridiculous, he made the most irresponsible statement I have ever heard from a former head of state. Here's what he said. I'm going to throw it up here for you. Here's what the former president said. Okay. But ECL said, Honorable J.J. Banda, MP for Petauke, is currently undergoing or about to undergo a surgical procedure at Chipata General Hospital following a severe deterioration of his health. Propaganda. This implies that the state has a hand in J.J. Banda's health Therefore, it's deteriorating. When the truth is, and this is the truth, Bane, okay? This is the truth. JJ Banda simply has or had a hernia. Okay, now for those of you that do not know, and I'll throw it up here, JJ Banda had a hernia. Now, hernia is not something that can be administered to you. It's just it's a physical condition, and it's something that can be dealt with. Now, for those of you that may not understand, here let's ask the question: what is a hernia? A hernia, in very simple terms, is a hernia occurs when an internal part of the body pushes through a weakness in the muscle or surrounding tissue wall. That's a hernia. Lots of people have hernias, and it's a minor procedure. You go to surgery, they fix it. Within 1 or 2 days, you're fine. You know, the first day is very difficult. You know, after the day after surgery, you're in a bit of discomfort. It's very painful. They give you painkillers. For those of you that have gone through this procedure, you know the drill. Okay, you go through maybe 1 or 2 days, 48 hours worth of discomfort, but after that, boom, you're fine. If you ran before the hernia, before the operation, before the procedure, after 2 days, you can run again. It's not a big problem. It's minor surgery. But here it is, our former president, Lungu, imply kuti no, following a severe deterioration of his health. The implication there is that somehow the state has a hand in JJ Banda's deterioration of his health. If in fact Banda was unhealthy, if in fact Banda's leg had been amputated, if in fact Banda was chained as alleged by the sixth and former president of this republic and people like him, if all those things were happening, you think Banda can escape in the manner in which he escaped? Nonsense. Pure, unadulterated, quintessential nonsense. Nonsense. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. Don't create falsities where there are none. Don't do that. What? For political expedience? Yeah? For political mileage? You are creating lies as a former head of state for political mileage? Don't compel us to say what we are not supposed to say, because that is the former head of state. But our only request to you, sir, act like one. Act like a former head of state. Do not peddle lies, innuendo, and falsities for the sake of your own political survival. Don't do that. So, here it is. And I must tell you that, well, let's go back to what happened. Let's go back to this question. How did this happen? Well, the story, apparently, it reads like a novel. You know, after the procedure, you know, this was in Chipata. Now, you must understand that Banda escaped while in police custody at a health facility. He didn't escape from jail. He didn't escape from prison. He didn't escape from those facilities. Oh, no, honey. He was in the custody of the police while, or as we say in Zambia, while in hospital. Okay, so he had the procedure. The hernia was dealt with. Remember, I told you what a hernia was. It was dealt with. It's minor surgery. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Okay, within two days, you're up and running again. You're fine. So he has his surgery. He's under strict, tight security. 5 people were guarding him, 2 police officers and 3 members of the correctional from the prison system. Okay, let me say that again. 5 people were guarding JJ Banda. 2 police officers, and 3 members of the correctional fraternity. One of JJ Banda's wives shows up and says to the police officers, well, he has to be soaked in salt in order to accelerate and to expedite the healing process. My husband has to sit in salt water, and we need privacy. So the police officers, being who they are, they say, okay, we're going to give you a few minutes. So the police officers leave the room. The only people that are in the room are JJ Banda, one of his wives, and a big bathing container of water, salt water. After a few minutes, JJ Banda's wife emerges and says to the guards, you're not going to believe this. 1 minute, my husband was sitting it was soaking in that salt water. The next minute, boom, he was gone. The guards begin to ask the wife, what the hell are you talking about? He's gone. She says, look, just like I said to you, he was here a minute ago. He was soaking in the salt water. We needed privacy. It was just the 2 of us in here. I look down, he's soaking. I look up, boom, he's gone. He disappears. All hell breaks loose. Now, as we speak right now, you must understand that the 5 officers who were tasked with guarding Banda have all been arrested. That one you must understand. You must understand that one. For you to comprehensively conceptualize this crime by Banda, you must first embrace this truth. Those 5 officers who were tasked with guarding Banda have all been arrested. I'm telling you. And what is sad is that if anyone amongst them was not privy to this plan, was not aware of this, this operation, ushalimo abamo. When we now ya kunchita tuaku yona tuam guarding Banda ali kuchipata na fuma operation. Next minute, you're phoning your family. If wakunona watukaka Banda na butuka ala tuni muchibe mule umfuafia. You are just hearing. But this issue is a very sensitive issue. Very sensitive. That is why these politicians, these opposition politicians, are trying to milk it for all that it's worth. Do you know? Now, Mwishwati, a dead JJ Banda is more valuable to the opposition than an alive Banda. They want that man dead. Why? Because they want to cause confusion and anarchy in this country by saying the state has killed Banda, which is lies. For a long time, they were saying, no, umuntu nalwala, ngaya kuchipatala terenda. When he goes to the hospital, he can barely walk. There was another lie that came out just a few days ago. Oh, they've amputated his leg. Nothing of the kind has happened. Nothing of the sort occurred. It's all an attempt to milk this JJ Banda story for all that it's worth. And the opposition, namely, in particular, the PF, the notorious Patriotic Front, led by Edgar Lungu, are trying. They're trying to cause anarchy in this country by using JJ Banda. But it's not going to work. I guarantee you, Banda will be arrested. They will apprehend him. He may be on the run, but they're going to catch him. You can take that to the bank. Police, law enforcement, members of the community, go catch him and bring him back and let him face the law. He's not going anywhere. He can't get far. He's not going anywhere. They'll catch him. They will. All right. Somebody says, I feel pity for HH. Few in government people have his vision at heart. It's true. This is true. This is true. I mean, the man is working like a lone ranger. I mean, of course, you have a few people around in his administration that are trying to, to engine this nation forward. They're trying to get this economy back on its feet. But here it is. We're talking about J.J. Banda. Huh? J.J. Banda. Kuti, his wives have to be arrested. In particular, the young girl that was with him, the night that she said, no, Uyu, we have to soak him in water. That one is in trouble. That's called aiding and abetting. Mweba ishbalo, mweba sambidida. Mweba sambidida. Aiding and abetting. It's a crime. At his done mushala. Ati hudini mwebantu. Alabwafia. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless. Please share this live. Please share this broadcast. God bless. Bye.